It's almost time to make those New Year's resolutions, but before we do, let's take a look back at 2023, next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC-TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, I'm going to be joined by St. Lucie County Commission Vice Chair Chris Sadowski and County Administrator George Landry to take a look back at the year here in St. Lucie County. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners.
St. Lucie County offices will be closed Monday, December 25th and Tuesday, December 26th in observance of Christmas. Please note that St. Lucie County libraries will be closed Saturday, December 23rd and Monday, December 25th. All county offices and libraries will be closed Monday, January 1st for New Year's Day.
Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org and we'll be happy to include you. We're also on all the social media channels at St. Lucie Gov, so we hope you'll follow us there. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works.
St. Lucie County's tourism revenue decreased by 20% in September compared to the same time frame a year ago. Total bed tax collections for fiscal year 2002 to 2003 were 5% higher than the previous year. Overall building activity in unincorporated St. Lucie County increased by 8% in September, with 1,345 permits submitted compared to August. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County in September was $416,061, nearly the same as it was a year ago, while condo values increased by nearly 15%, with the median price at $315,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate remained nearly the same in September at 3.7% compared to 3.8% in August. Statewide, the unemployment rate was 3%. The largest increase in the labor force on the Treasure Coast was in education and health services, followed by government and then transportation and utilities. According to CareerSource, there were roughly 4,400 more jobs in St. Lucie County, a 2.6% increase compared to last year. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit the CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE.
Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Chris Sadowski. Commissioner, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And County Administrator George Landry. I won't reach across the Commissioner. I was told that
I'll
was
say
rude.
welcome.
There you go. He'll pass on. Well, thank you both for coming on the show today. We were going to kind of look back at the year in review now that we're into December. It's that time of year everybody does the recap shows. But Commissioner, I thought we'd start with you because you've been here a while now, right? 15 years, right?
Yeah.
3 terms as County Commissioner. So you've seen a lot of change. Let's look back at your time here at St. Lucie County, just 15 years.
My very first budget, we literally lost $54 million from the first budget. In the following probably 10 months after that, we were having 3,000 and 4,000 foreclosures a month. And so we were in a really bad place financially. Thank goodness that the previous boards before I got here had the resolve to put reserves away. And that was a very good thing, keeping that so-called piggy bank, or whatever you want to call it, safety net. And we were fortunate to have that. And we had to take some draconian moves. We took 21 departments down to 9, jettisoned 350 people from the payroll.
Yeah.
I like to look at the things that, good came out of it.
Sure.
Not that they're, those folks who lost their jobs was difficult, but we had to learn to do things better, more efficiently, and more streamlined, and we got better at doing things with technology. And so if you don't learn something from something as catastrophic as that, then you haven't done your job. So I think we've done that, and we're going to talk about some of the improvements that we've made along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and George, you've been with the county now about 10 years, and you've started out in HR, risk management, and moved up to solid waste and public utilities. They merged those two departments, utilities and public works, which makes sense. But you recently this year, you were tapped to be the county administrator, which I think is the 9th or 10th county administrator in the county's history.
I think 9th you said before.
Yeah. I'm the alleged historian.
Historian,
So
yeah.
I have to go
You're
off the
right.
top of my head. I don't
And
know.
I've only had 4.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you count Dan, I've
Yeah,
had 5.
Dan's the interim, yeah.
So, but you've seen a lot of changes just in this past, in your 10 years, but in the last 11 months too.
Yes, and one of the biggest changes is the way the board's embracing the growth that the county's experiencing. I think no longer this board is reactive. It's been a very proactive board, and it's pretty amazing to see. They realize that growth's coming to St. Lucie County, whether we want it or not. And so what they've done is really focused in on smart growth and what makes what really keeps St. Lucie County great, which is it's our environmental stewardness, our lands, our protection, our coastline, our beaches. So what's pretty awesome is when the board sees this growth coming, they're like, okay, well, if it's coming, it's going to come our way and the way we want it. And the way that they're attacking it and managing that growth has been pretty remarkable. And we're finding ways to still expand St. Lucie County, but do it in the way that preserves what's important to everybody.
And you make a good point, and as part of that, we actually did some surveys, and I think that was really poignant, and be able to find out where do the residents, taxpayers want to go, what do you want to see, and open space, environmental preserves, having quality of life. We see what's happening. The folks from South Florida are moving here in droves because we have green space, right? And so that's a large part of what people want. They want to have quality of life. They want to have larger lots. They don't want to have 3 foot between each home, gated communities on every corner, dumping into a collector road, and creating all that traffic. So the board has listened to that, and we are demanding that from the developers who want to come here. They can still build, but we have to add and have a higher quality product.
Yeah, and because you said even from the dais, I know a few times recently, Florida's very open public or development rights, right?
Yeah.
Like the only way we can stop development, and it's interesting when you read social media, right? There's stop allowing these developers, stop encouraging people. The board doesn't really encourage people to develop their land. The only way to do that is to take it out of private ownership and put it back into public trust. And in the late '90s, the board, the voters went and approved a millage increase on their property taxes.
It was a referendum.
Yeah,
And it was citizen driven.
Mhm.
And I talk about it today. Is if we don't want property to be built upon, we need to buy it.
Yeah.
We hear it a lot on the beaches because they're still pristine. Really, I mean, we have 22 miles of beachfront. Many acres of that are still wooded, right?
Mhm.
And of course, a lot of it's wetlands, a lot of it's
Some
mangrove forest.
or mosquito impoundment.
Yeah, and so I say it all the time. If we don't want to build, come out with a citizens referendum, put it on the ballot, get everybody to participate, and put a small millage aside so that we can buy the land and manage it in the future.
And what I think is great about that, though, that initiative back in the '90s is it was a $20 million bond, but we matched it with state and federal and private grants, and we spent $76 million.
Correct.
Most of that's gone. There's still a little bit left in that account, but. And again, it was all lands. Now we have 11,000 acres and 42 miles of trails that are open for passive recreation.
And we're getting very close to our greenways and trails and our sun trail program to actually go the whole distance of the county, connecting Martin County with Indian River and all the way to Maine, actually. We're getting closer.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the highlights of this past year for St. Lucie County from both of you. I mean, we've had a lot of different departments. We've had a lot of challenges, but with that came a lot of opportunities too, especially coming out of the pandemic. Like you said, there's hard lessons to learn, but if you don't learn through the pandemic, we learned how to pivot and shift resources. When libraries were closed, those staff went and did other things like answer the public information lines or go help clean facilities or,
Yeah, I got to say that the pandemic was a nightmare for everybody, and to learn that Zoom and all these new.
You said bracing technology,
Yes,
whether you want to
yes.
do it or not.
I mean, it still has challenges. Let's face it.
Yep.
So that's difficult.
As we've experienced recently.
But we're moving in. Just so you know, I brought some notes because we had so much that we got done this year and in previous years too. But I think this is one of the first times we've actually been, kind of focusing on year-end stuff. So I just have a couple notes here. Parks and Recreation, they rolled out a new program called Rec and Roll. It's a mobile recreation program, engaging hundreds of youth in our community, getting out there and participating in our community and getting the kids out and getting them off the phone and getting into the parks. We had the summer splash jams, if you want to call it that, pool parties. Over 300 attendees were there, and we worked with the sheriff's office as well. They hosted the first trunk or treat over at the Defense Center. Over 2,000 participants. That's a lot. That's a lot of candy. I know that they were still running to the store near the end. And the sheriff participated in that too. And again, our relationship with the sheriff has always been good. You know, he works with us on swim lessons as well at some of our pools. And one of the things that's important to a lot of people that I know, and that is the boat ramps. So we've secured a $1.4 million Florida Wildlife Florida Boating Improvement Grant. And so now we're going to be working on that from January through December of next year while they're working on the North Bridge, the new North Bridge, $136 million bridge, which will take us away from having to deal with
the drawbridge.
The drawbridge.
I've been stuck there a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure that. So that'll be at the North Causeway Island Park, and should be done by the end of the year. One of the things that we hadn't done in a long time was Clover Park. We did some renovations a few years back, just before the pandemic. $56 million renovation, which really has made it one of the prime spring training facilities in this country, actually, and certainly here in Florida. But we hadn't done the field in probably 30 years. And so there were drainage issues. The grass had, just really had been worn out.
Sure.
So basically we renovated that. And again, this was used with tourist tax. So this is folks who come to visit us, pay 5 cents on their dollar stay, and we reinvested in our community for the people who live here. And so we renovated the grass and the drainage system, and it is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. And so now one of the things that a lot of folks don't know is back in 2018, we had the conversation with the Mets. They were looking to leave, and we were able to secure a 5-year extension on that agreement through 2021, and then ended up being, or 2022, and then there was an opportunity to do the renovation and keep them here for another 25 years. Yeah. And so one of the things that did is it maintained 4 spring training teams on the east coast of Florida, basically saved the Citrus League in Florida, and that has benefited everyone on the east coast of Florida.
Yeah, and on the stadium, I know a lot of folks too they always think about it just baseball, but the Mets really are a good community partner. We've had the chili cook-off there, which our solid waste team won the fundraising award this year. And so there are events throughout the year that isn't just baseball at the stadium. They do a lot for Special Olympics, and they've done some cancer walks and runs out there. So it is used beyond just the March time frame.
And we might be able to do more in the future.
Absolutely.
So.
A few other highlights that out of the Parks, Recs, and Facilities Department is on the facility side of the house, downtown Fort Pierce, the clerk's building, the clerk courthouse, there was some unfinished space on the first floor, and facilities was able to partner with the clerk and finish that out and open up like a walk-in customer service, a much more expansive service area for the clerk to help with that court side and the clerk side of the house. And then all in all, when you look across the board, as we use the analytics and the metrics that we have, all of our county facilities, parks, savannas, fairgrounds, all of those have seen such an improved and increased user or rental program out of their aquatics. Our pools had a ton more people hitting the pools this year, and they were able to do a lot more programs in the pools, similar to that Rec and Roll and Trunk or Treat. I think our aquatics division kind of got in that same spirit and tried to host little party events there at the pool. So it just wasn't just open pools. They actually hosted events to draw people into the pools as well. So it was pretty awesome to see Parks and Rec, kind of get out of the box thinking and really try to get more recreational stuff to the kids in St. Lucie County.
Sure, because I know for a number of years when you talk about those cuts, recreation was one of the things that went away from Parks and Rec, and they kind of focused just on maintaining the parks and having people come in and do events. But the past year or so, like you said, our new assistant parks director, Joy Hawthorne, has really been focused on offering programs to folks, whether it's a dance for special needs students, a fall festival, or it's the trunk or treat stuff or the Rec and Roll. So they're getting out in the community.
I started talking about the partnerships that we have. We also have partnerships with our 4 counties, Martin, Indian River, of course us, and then Okeechobee in the 19th Judicial Circuit. And so we met and had our four-county collaborative and had a discussion about what do we do forward with the medical examiner's office. That building is probably 50 plus years old. It's certainly worn past its usable state, and we're amazed at what the medical examiner and her staff have been able to do with what they have, and we're moving forward. And I got to thank too our Florida legislative delegation. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, our Treasure Coast
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah, and I will say that they were able to come up with $1 million to get us started on the engineering and the architectural design, and we have a relationship with Indian River State College. So again, it's about St. Lucie County working with others and participating to do and have better government. I
Yeah.
think that's what we all try to do.
And I think the public isn't always aware of, the Board of County Commissioners maintains over 1 million square feet of building space. And a lot of that's not for our employees. It's state attorney, it's the medical examiner, it's the 19th Circuit Court, sheriff's office, supervisor election, on and on. We there's a lot of maintenance that our facility staff they have to take care of that folks wouldn't always recognize or realize that. And even our staff helped with the medical examiner with their website this year because they never had a website. And then they came to us and said, hey, can you guys help us out?
Yeah. One of the things we have to do is when we find that somebody passes away in our community is finding the families. And so we've used social media, websites to be able to try and accomplish that as well. So one of the things that we didn't talk about on Parks and Rec was the new pickleball facility at Lakewood Park.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Lakewood Park, yeah, which I heard there are already plans to expand it, which as a disc golfer is cutting into my whole six there. And Matt and I are going to have to duke it out.
Disc golf and pickleball are exploding in St. Lucie County.
They are.
Right? That's the two new things to do. So it fits for all ages and all generations, right? So that's pretty awesome. One of the other departments that deserve a little bit of airtime and recognition, and we're going to be talking about a lot of departments through today, thanks to Commissioner Zadofsky and his interest in sharing highlights from all departments. But one of the ones that don't really get much attention or airtime unless there's something, catastrophe-wise going on is our public safety department. And that team, that leadership team there, they've been really focusing on what we call like next generation 911, right? Really improving the 911 system. So when those folks call, we can get the most accurate data and location and get the required resources to them faster with more accurate stuff. So they've been putting a lot of energy and assets into that. And I know most of the time we only see them in front of the cameras when there's something happening or something brewing, right? And they get up and start telling us all the things we got to prepare for. But when that's not happening, they're still working as something is out there. So they're leaning forward always and don't get enough airtime.
And I want to thank our new administrators. This is the first summer in probably 7 years we haven't had to activate for a hurricane. So I appreciate that. I don't know if you had anything to do with the weather machine, but let's keep that going.
We're a few days away from the season being over, so we
we're
can't
taking
jinx
this
ourselves
late,
yet.
but let's keep that streak going.
So yeah, that's pretty. So thank you for that.
Well, let's talk about partnerships too. With the fire district, although the county doesn't manage the fire district, two commissioners sit on the fire district, and we had, through a relationship opportunity, work with the fire district to secure county land over at what is known as Taserta Park off of Kings Highway, and it's land that we've owned for some time. And the Sunshine Kitchen is there in that same park, and we were able to create a relationship to actually provide 3 acres of land there. And that area has been so in need of services because we have about 3,000 calls a year there. And the timetable was anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. We like to be within 4 to 6 minutes. And so in order to be able to cut the time on our responses, the fire district's now going to build a 3-bay fire station there with an opportunity actually as a training center as well. So thanks to Administrator Landry being able to help negotiate that process going through, and that's actually going to start moving forward. And then in addition to what we've been able to accomplish in that relationship, the fire district's moving forward with 3 other stations at the Milner facility south of Midway Road. And we'll talk about roads, I think, in a little bit, but I think it's important to also state that where that new facility is going to go next to the administration building, Midway Road is going to now be widened. We were able to secure back to the legislative delegation and the governor being able to fast forward $54 million, I think it is, and then our ability to bond additional funds to fast forward the widening of Midway to Glades Cutoff, I think is going to be incredibly important for the finishing of the hurricane evacuation route to the west, and add some value there as well on our response times to 95 and the Turnpike. We also negotiated with the Turnpike Commission to actually have an on-ramp and an off-ramp there in the near future. That's being engineered as we speak today. So a lot of that negotiation happens, sometime in the past, and now we are right there, and we're getting close to getting to fruition.
That it is, and we have a great partnership with the fire district, and they're also looking at expanding a station down in Fort Pierce near the Avenue D and 7th Street that they have one at right now, and we're working in partnership with them on some land swap in order so they can expand there too. So we really value our relationship with the fire district, and they're a great partner, and they do awesome things for St. Lucie County. And kind of using that segue in, one of the other things that go along with it is our transit department. Our transit ridership is up almost 25%, so it's just growing and growing. And one of the things that our new transit leadership team has kind of put in place is what they call these micro transit zones. And instead of having the big bus on a fixed route, they have, a lot of smaller vehicles that can respond through an app, and they can pick people up at one point and deliver them to another point without having them make their way to a bus stop or so. But they're not getting away from the bus stops either. They're still putting in, I think, 20 more bus stop locations all around the county. And our transit leadership team has done a great job working with both of our municipal partners, both cities, and really embracing them and inquiring about their transportation needs in inner city part of it too, and really incorporating the county's global transit with those city needs, and that partnership has never been stronger, and our municipal partners are really engaged with transit, and it's been pretty awesome to watch how that thing's been unfolding and them all working together.
I know the micro transit in St. Lucie City of Port St. Lucie, they expanded it in St. Lucie West this year, and as a resident of the city of Fort Pierce, I use Freebie, which is their micro transit option, and the county, I hear, is going to partner with them to maybe expand that to 7 days a week. 'Cause I like it on the weekends, but I'd like it on a Monday too.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great program.
Yeah.
Well, again, back to engaging with the public, engaging with our municipal partners, Port St. Lucie specific. There was a request and a need for more shelters. So with transit,
Bus shelters.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just make sure.
We'll get to the shelter.
Yeah, that's
right.
But yes, absolutely, bus shelters. And so some of the busiest areas, we've gained 17 new bus shelters. We work with Port St. Lucie there on Aroso and actually built another facility right there, the regional area, for transfers. And so again, listening to the public, listening to our municipal partners, being able to create opportunities for success.
Yeah. And Commissioner, I know the airport is also something that's been, one of your
have a little interest.
little interest in your background, and we've made some strides there as well this past year.
Yeah, as I say, overnight success. Started arguing and debating and requesting and trying to find solutions and support for airport expansion from an economic development standpoint. St. Lucie County, when I came to office, relied on rooftops, retirees, failing citrus, not due to the farmers themselves, but citrus psyllid and tourism. And so that's not really a annual type of economic engine that you'd like to have. Airports are known to be economic engines. Currently, we're looking at about $800 million of economic input from the airport alone today. Couple thousand workers at the airport area. And it's also drawing in along the St. Lucie Boulevard new businesses, expanding businesses. You've got Maverick and Pursuit, all have expanded into hundreds of thousands of square feet of new development and new manufacturing area. Truss companies are there.
Truss,
There's a new Twin V, the electric boat manufacturer. So all of that's coming to the airport area, and I think what they see is the opportunity for folks to fly in and see their products being built. And TurboWorks is looking to expand. We've got Phoenix Metals that has expanded, and so being able to move that along. And we again back to partnerships from our legislative folks in Congress. Congressman Mast was able to secure $3 million for us to expand the runway to make us more acceptable for larger aircraft that actually can move cargo in the future, which will help to develop the manufacturing and intermodal distribution system that you're seeing all these big boxes go in. The bigger picture about all that is people will have jobs that are livable wage, be able to buy the homes that are being built. Again, quality home communities. But as important, that revenue base is going to come in, and when we manufacture products, all of those buildings will be built, more jobs will come, more revenue will come, and we can take the pressure off of residential taxation, lower the millage, and get to be more livable for those of us who invested in homes and property.
Yeah, which in all fairness is what, 5 years in a row now, 6 years we've lowered the millage rate?
At least 5.
Yeah,
go
at
with
least 5.
do it-
Yeah,
We'll do it
that's
in
right. We
6.
were flat. Yeah.
You know, and go with that along with the airport. You know, about 8 months ago, you know, the board, one of the board's top priorities when I took this role on was the airport and really focusing on the airport. So about 8 months ago, we submitted our application for Part 139, which brings the potential of commercial air service into the county airport. We're pretty much about 90% of the way there to completion. We should be wrapped up here in the next few months and be having the ability to start receiving commercial airlines into the county airport. So we're pretty excited about that. And the awesome thing about it is the board's, you know, keeping that mind of laser focus, right? Is we're looking at all airlines and what they can bring to the table. We're not in a mode of desperation where the first person that shows up, we're trying to do a deal with them. It's the board is saying, hey, let's look at every airline that's out there, because we know everybody wants to come to the Treasure Coast Airport, and let's pick the ones that best serve our residents and can best support the community and what their intentions are, right? That manufacturing, the job growth, what can actually improve commerce into St. Lucie County, and not just have an airline to say we have an airline. So
Sure.
it's pretty awesome to have that, you know, that direction and focus from the board.
And oftentimes I get questions as, why does it take so long? Well, I'm just going to just read some of the notes here, because these are, it's critical to understand that this stuff takes forever. So we had the Part 139 courtesy inspection done in April. It gave us a list of things to work on. The FAA manuals that needed to be approved, airport certification manual, airport emergency manual, the wildlife hazardous management plan. TSA request for federalization has been approved, so now we can actually have security at the airport. What gives us opportunity for resources for people and equipment that'll be necessary for screening. And then the taxiway project you talked about has been started, and just several months away from getting that done. The taxiway connectors needed to be done, because we weren't in compliance from what's new today that's important for today's operation. So having FAA on board with us has been incredible. Back to partnerships and relationships, that's been very important. So I want to thank Cameron and previous directors for getting us to this point, because it took a lot of work.
Yeah.
And one last thing to mention with that is, yourself had a hand in Erica and with Charlotte is our website. For the airport, we have a special website separate for the airport that these commercial entities can look at. It's not tourism really related; it's more business focused, and it really lays out the plans on how we're looking forward to develop the airport into a more commercial as well as business oriented way. So we really appreciate all your help and support on that. That's been a huge win for the county.
Yeah.
Back to relationships, the Economic Development Council has been incredibly important for recognizing what we're trying to do at the airport, laying the groundwork and the foundation for businesses to come here. I would suggest that there are probably 4 different businesses that are waiting in the wings to secure their position for the airport, whether it be to build on the airport, relationships with the county, and manufacturers. We have a foreign trade zone in the area, so that. And what does that mean? That means that if somebody wants to fly in the parts, say it's a radio, some 8,000 parts. 8,000 parts come in. They don't get taxed on the way in. They build the product and it gets taxed on the way out. So it's a reduction in cost in building the product and then selling it and then making it a higher profit.
Yeah.
And so that's an important mechanism for, again, keeping our main focus as to manufacturing, jobs, income, economic development.
And you talk about overnight success. I remember in 1997 when I was a reporter with TC Palm writing about them setting up the foreign trade zone.
Yes.
And it just recently got expanded this past year to include even parts of Indian River County, so they can take advantage of that as well. So.
Yeah, and with that, with all the development there at the airport and the focus on jobs, if we can circle back a little bit to Public Works and Commissioner Zadowski already mentioned how awesome Midway Road expansion is going to be, and with that, our Public Works Department, they've replaced so far this year 8 major failing culverts, replaced them. So protecting our
We didn't just
our
leave
way
them.
of life. No, toll rebuilds and things of that nature. Right, they're very laser focused on making sure the roads and our crossings are the most safest for the community. There are 14 bridges they've been working on. Sidewalk programs. And they were one of the big components in addition to our utilities department with the American Rescue Plan, right? We had, of the $64 million that the county was given American Rescue Plan, we'll say 90% of it went to utilities and public works. They've had about $24 million on water quality projects and public works. And they've been knocking them out of the park, ahead of schedule, forward-leaning, turning those dollars into double and triple that amount of dollars and what they can get done with what they can do in the community with water quality and drainage projects within American Rescue. Same with county utilities. They've taken those $34 million and with the board's focus on if growth is coming, we don't want more septic, we don't want more wells, right? So we've done major line extension programs out there throughout the community for water and sewer lines, so we can start steering people off of wells and septics and having the service ready when development comes. So it's just been every department, seems like they could have their 5 pages of things that they're
I know,
doing.
we're going to have to talk about the annual report at the end
Yeah,
later
it's-
on about
it's
how we
gonna-
slim that down this year.
Right, it's going to be a long read, for stuff like that. But and we'll get when we get closer to wrap up, there's a few more departments we want to highlight and stuff. But what it ties to is the board has a set of priorities, and what's awesome from a staff's perspective, right, is the board has not just 10 priorities, they have 10 priorities inside of every department. And the thing is they work in cohesiveness with the staff in the department to make sure we're getting all the tools necessary to do all 10 things to get them done and complete those tasks to serve the citizens. So they're never, some of the folks laugh at me from time to time. I'm like, oh, we have a little lull in excitement today, or something like that. They look at me like a lull. What are we down to 9 things to do instead of 10 today? I'm like, hey, that's a lull, right? So, but they create that environment to where that's what you want to do. You come to work wanting to do it because they give us all the resources, the tools, the direction, the guides, the support. It's an automatic. It's for lack of better terms, it's easy to do when you have that type of support and team concept going on. So.
Yeah, and you talked about $1 million worth of swale maintenance, Lakewood Park and Indian River Estates. We know that they're low-lying in large areas, and so they're often wet. And Indian River Estates, right next to the savannas, have those challenges. So we have been working and investing well since I got here in Indian River Estates on their drainage program. Same with Lakewood Park. Those are incredibly important. So as part of the American Rescue Plan, we've also identified funding to do a county-wide stormwater management plan. And I will share that, when I first got here, I worked on Paradise Park. We got that to fruition, and then we worked on Harmony Heights. We did several more phases in the last year that completed that, and now we're working on the stormwater plan for Sunland Gardens. These are old neighborhoods that hadn't been looked at in a lot of years, and so we were able to identify and get board support to actually focus on them and manage those types of situations. So I think it's really important that the stormwater master plan be considered. Because as we look at this, and you talked about the utilities, to get back to the stormwater, but as growth comes, those who provide the utilities are the ones who get to manage the growth. And so one of the things that we were able to do is bring utilities into an area when we talk about Oak Ridge Ranch. The first time in probably 30 years, 25 years, did the county approve a master development with 8,000 homes. Yeah. It could have been 20,000 homes. And so in order to secure that opportunity to reduce the amount of density, increase the open space, increase the wetland protection areas, increase the roadway construction inside, and make it more developable for quality community, we were able to do that because we had the utilities. So controlling the utilities helps us control the growth as well.
Absolutely. And I know we have the port, inlet, and beaches in here. We had Josh on last show, so we don't need to give him any love, right?
Well, hey, I will say this is that's one of the other things. Commissioner Zadowski, Indian River Lagoon's a big thing for him, right? Yep. And so to really, one of the ideas that we had, in coming into this role is separating. We had our port and our airport was tied together, but we separated and we created this new department, Port, Inland, and Beaches, and so we could really get laser focused on Indian River Lagoon and on our port and things of that nature. And with the support of the board, we've we've already hit the ground running and made some good strides there with that. And as you said, Josh was here a month ago and probably took an hour and a half of the show to do that stuff. But if the commissioner's got a few things you'd like to say about
as the new erosion chair.
Well, as the former and the really, just simply stating is that Josh has done an amazing job working with the citizens of South Beach specific, working with the city of Fort Pierce on beach renourishment programs. We did the sand trap. It's been very, very successful. We'll be able to save a lot of money doing that. The General Review Report, the GRR, is now moving forward at the congressional level, being able to engineer what will be T-groins at the Fort Pierce Beach to be able to salvage and save the sand from actually moving at all, or at some level, or slow it down. It's just so expensive. But we've been able to secure $10 million federal funding for the 24-25 Fort Pierce Inlet navigation and turning basin maintenance. It doesn't sound like it means a lot, but we have mega yachts coming in there, and they may have a draft of 10, 12 feet. We need to make sure that doesn't shoal over and cause damage to these vessels. The one thing that I hear from folks all the time: bring in a cruise line. Well, you don't really want a cruise line, because you have to deepen the port, the inlet, and then the sand would suck out of the system that much faster and more cost to renourish the beaches. But it's also a problem for the environment. So
and I don't think the tourism revenue really offsets like you said, some of the
they
challenges
take it out of the community.
You're coming in, you get on your boat and you
everything.
leave. So it's not as big as a tourism boom as people may think.
And the cruise lines usually own everything, so it's not like there's a local opportunity for making revenue. So I guess you want to switch gears a little bit and move to housing.
Sure.
Yeah, housing would be great. One of the things from an administrative perspective is looking at the board has all these projects with roads, with infrastructure, with things of that nature, but they don't lose sight of some of the challenges that we have with homelessness and some of our housing crisis and the affordability of housing and things that way. So this past year they focused energy out of the budget to help with that, help find ways to improve the quality of housing and shelters and things of that nature to keep the community safe, as well as provide opportunity for those that are just running into some challenges and having some rough time. So the board has dedicated a lot of money that way, and we're working for trying to stand up or help improve the men's shelter, create a women's shelter, look for some housing for veterans, things of that nature. So our community service department, it's small but mighty, and they are really tackling a lot of awesome challenges. They've got rental assistance programs, they've got utility assistance programs. We're looking at different ways that we can help with the cost of living that's out there right now, right? Because we have, a portion of the workforce that's struggling to find places to live here within our county. So they're working on programs that can help rent supplements and things like that in nature. And it's all been supportive and directed by the board. So it's pretty awesome to see that they, with all the other stuff we're trying to do, they don't lose sight of those important tasks and have those going. So anything else that we could add?
Yeah, well, this board and previous boards actually was forward thinking probably 5 years ago. There was a piece of property that's over off of Okeechobee Road, 70, by the Walmart. It was escheated to us or given to us in a tax deed issue, and we were able to secure a housing development group that actually bid on building affordable housing in that area. Workforce housing. Well, yeah, that's a challenge we have. Workforce, attainable,
essential.
Essential housing, yeah. And so we actually have moved that forward. They're building it currently. We hope that it'll be done in the next few months or at the end of the year. Well, probably middle of next year. So, but at the end of the day, we were already forward thinking in that regard, and that's coming out of the ground. And we have some help from the state with Senate Bill 102. There are some challenges with it for us, but and I think for other counties. But I think we can manage the opportunity there for creating land that the county owns and be able to work with developers to build it so that it's less expensive. And I continue to look to the legislature to try and find, I'm going to call it tax abatement, if you will, kind of incentives for development to actually build these
more
and keep
affordable.
Yeah, and so anyway, I think it's important. And again, housing is something we all see as difficult. Like I said, when we opened the show, we talked about 3,000 to 4,000 foreclosures a month. Today, a lot of people who have moved here paid cash. the challenge with being a very attractive community like we are, it's going to increase the
Price,
value.
yep.
So those who own houses could cash out or do with their properties that they want to do, pay bills, whatever. That's the good side of it. The bad side of it, the value is high. Where do you go?
So I said this on a previous show, and I'm gonna say it again because you weren't on that show. I always get annoyed with run government like a business, because what's the goal of any business? To make money. And government really shouldn't be about making money, but if you do take that example and look at us like a business, who owns this business? Well, the residents that live here, property owners, they're the shareholders. If your property is worth more now than when you first moved here, well then we've run a successful business.
Yeah.
But the downside of that means you're paying more in taxes probably,
Yeah.
because the value of your property is going up. And the board's tried to lower the millage rate to keep that. But like everybody else's annual budget, groceries, fuel, everything else costs a little more. Our insurance costs a little more. So you have to slowly uptick, but it is kind of, I think, a unique analogy to look at that when you say run government like a business.
Yeah.
You look at your property value. I mean, I've been fortunate to live here 20 years. It's 3 or 4 times what I bought it for.
But because you've had it for so long,
I'm homesteaded.
Yes,
my
you're paying.
my in-laws just bought a house in Lakewood Park, and they're shocked at the sticker, the tax property. Like, how much do you pay? And I pay 4 times less than what they pay.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've been homesteaded for 20 years.
We talk about the millage, and I didn't mention it when we first opened up, and that is when we were dying for money to run the business of the county, $54 million deficit right off the top because of the foreclosures. We didn't increase the millage when we should have.
No.
And so we felt that we were trying to help everybody with that situation by not raising the millage. But in hindsight, we probably didn't do ourselves a favor by inching up a little bit at the time to bridge that gap. So it's taken us a long time with little revenue back in the 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. We had the longest probably run of the recession than any other county in the state because we were growing so fast that, in 2006 that it took us longer to recover.
Sure. Well, we'll get back to the highlights. We only got a few more left. I know veterans, George is a veteran,
And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you both. Yes, the St. Lucie County Veterans, it's a division within inside of Community Services. We talked about the housing, human services part of Community Services, but veterans also falls under there. And they've had 5,400 veterans year to date so far this year, and we still got time left for the year ends, but 5,400 veterans that they've helped with their claims and or transportation to and from, the VA hospital and other clinics around. So they continue to get out there in the community and do great things for our veterans.
I've seen them
and,
step up their outreach. They're at SEAL Museum events. And,
yeah, they're doing really good, reaching out. And, every morning when I come to work, the van's outside, 6:30 in the morning, the van's out there, and I'm trying to grow a fan base of veterans because we sit down and chat a little bit and talk and different things, and getting to hear some of their stories and some of their challenges is pretty helping us to keep things in perspective, So our Veterans Department does really great stuff for the community.
And I would just give a shout out for him too, because I've had some of the more difficult cases come through my office, and it just gets to be very difficult for the limited staff that's there. And some of the challenges, he just jumps right in, and he will get his hands dirty, so to speak, and really start to work with the folks that need the help. And I'm very proud of him for that.
Yeah, thank you both.
We appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
And then our planning department, I know they've shifted to some online permitting this past year, which is always a huge mountain to get up over. People don't like change.
Yeah.
That they do, that's the thing is by switching to that, it actually, the efficiency aspect of it for the actual customer, they don't see it in the beginning, but the efficiency part that it creates long term, and that system's still going through its process of working through, and it's already made a lot of efficiencies, a lot of improvements, but there's still more to come, and we're pretty excited about that. They've also won a national recognition for a code amnesty program that they've done. So not only do they just do plans and building permits and things like that under planning, they have code and they have some of the other stuff. So they're talked about quite a bit at board meetings on development side, but they also do a lot of things where they try to find ways to help our existing members of the community. It's not just jam them up with all sorts of rules and regulation. They try to find ways to help improve that and stuff too. And I don't know if Commissioner Zadowski has been a huge proponent of trying to help people solve their problems, not just hit them with a fine,
Yeah.
The
citation.
amnesty program.
Yeah, well, that was came out. When did we start that? I'm going to say 2011, 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a constituent who was very angry. We had all these liens and all these code cases that had revenue that hadn't been collected, and I thought to myself, well, if we're never going to collect it, what's the use? And then I thought further, people think that it's punitive. Well, it is if you don't do something, right?
Sure.
And so the idea really is to get people to take action, come into compliance, make your neighborhood better, make your own property valuable, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the things that we developed was the code amnesty program, so that during a period of time, it's 90 days, 120 days, depending on the time of the year, and we offer it out, we send out messages, we put it on Facebook, we put it on social media, and we say, look, if you have a code case, if you have a lien, come into compliance and we'll reduce it by X amount, depending
90%.
on 90%. And so we've seen a lot of success. And so again, it's just about coming into compliance, making the neighborhood better, making the values in the community better, and having that community relationship is important. So I think that was incredibly, fortunate that we had the board that said, let's go ahead and move forward with that.
Yeah.
And it's been working ever since. One of the things with the planning department, when I first ran, I was at the budget meetings, and it was held in Tradition. And I said, what about having online permitting? Why don't you do it? And I thought it was the easiest thing in the world, right? You could use Microsoft SharePoint, and
Sure.
it should be just an easy. Well, then I learned about regulations, and I learned about
ADA compliance with digital, yeah.
So it's taken a while to get here, and the technology has really come on now since 2008. And but when people say why does it take so long? Because you have to go through the regulatory process, the state, the federal, the ADA, all those things that come into play, and you don't see it until you have to, until you're here and have to live through it. So
Yeah.
So good stuff.
As we get to the end of this here, and we got a few departments left to talk about. One that will go into, one of Commissioner Dofsky's least favorite departments, the environmental resources. I'm kidding. Department is. I'm just going to turn it over to him and let him, go through on that. But he's been a huge environmental, force, and with that, it's really inspired other departments in the county, as well as really motivated our environmental resource department to go out and do great things. So I'll let you take it away and share some of the great things that you've done with that force.
Well, thank you. I do spend a little time on water quality and wetland preservation and things like that. And we talked earlier in the show about how the environmental resources department came to be. The entire referendum, it was done in the 90s, and why it's been successful. And through that, we do an education program as well. The Oxbow is probably one of the most used facilities in probably the region, even, in each of the 4 counties. And so the state implemented an irrigation program, meaning that you don't irrigate during certain periods of time. You only do it 3 days a month or 3 days a week, et cetera. So they went out and did an irrigation ordinance education campaign. There was a grant from the National Estuary Program, to which I'm the current chair of the NEP, National Estuary Program, and it actually has from Volusia all the way to Martin County. So it's pretty amazing. We approved several grants, including $800,000 legislative improvements, apportionments, requests to design and construct a preserve for autistic and related disabilities. That's going to be at the Myers-Stickle Park Preserve.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we have. 10 Mile Creek. We reestablished an Oxbow at Becker off of Selvitz Road. And one of the things that we noticed back then, we had gotten that property through the ERD's purchasing program. But one of the areas, they had blocked up an Oxbow that was existing many years ago, and it created a flood zone. So now the Oxbow has been restored, and so now the water flows better. And so now the floodplain is where it's supposed to be. And so as part of that, now we actually are able to secure a grant for $250,000 to build a bridge over that Oxbow. So now the island can be, kind of used as a place to go out and check out. So that's kind of cool. We talked about the Oxbow. We talk about septic to sewer. Well, the county, having owned that property at Becker, moved forward with doing the right thing and changed out the septic to sewer. And we are now engaged in sewer with the city of Fort Pierce. So one of the areas that people may not know is laccolith mint is actually very, very rare. And we have one of the largest areas of laccolith mint in the whole state, if not the country. And so we did some improvements out there, including scrub jay improvements. We did some ADA trail areas in Oxbow Eco Center. Let's see. Again, the Earth Day. Oh my gosh, it's getting so huge. I mean, we had
It took a break because of the pandemic, but it came back strong.
Yes,
this past
very
year.
strong. And one of the things that's really impressive about folks that love the outside, the preserves and conservation areas, is they like to volunteer. And so, I'm seeing here that the volunteers donated over 11,600 hours of work, giving us a benefit of $347,000 if you were to pay them.
And the Treasure Coast Disc Golf Club is about 200 of those hours, just for the
Okay.
record.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a lot of work out at Gordy, just so I can make sure I hit my shots. I cut
You
down the
should
trees
do.
I need to.
Okay, all right. Make
Yes,
sure you
it-
get a permit.
When you see those trees, they got the curve cut out, so it hits
Yeah,
the
the little-
slice right in there perfectly for his disc to get through, and nobody else knows what it's there for.
Exactly.
I dig it. It's strategy. And Eric, Commissioner, a few things. There's some departments that we don't ever really talk about because they're not forward facing, right? We have some internal departments, our Human Resources Department,
IT,
our
yeah.
IT department, our Office of Management and Budget. Those are the kind of core support departments within the organization that help keep everything flowing. They touch every single one of these forward-facing departments, and so their customer base, 90% is the other departments that they serve, while those other departments are out serving the public. So none of that can be done without their efforts and their focus, and they do great for our employees and their families and the staff, that way with that. So we just kind of wanted to give them a little plug. They probably could have a little list of their highlights too, but most of them are, what we do inside to keep the place a great place to work.
Yeah.
Having those three departments.
Well, again, you cut me down to 2 hours today, so
I
I
tried.
wanted to go into every other. We have a longer list, but
Well,
but
you
we
can
wanted
come
to-
on in a few months again. We'll get
But
time.
I appreciate it. I just wanted the public to really know, that we are working very hard for you, and we are doing absolutely the best we can. And we're very fortunate to have the resources that they've given us, the half-cent sales tax. We're so far ahead of our list. That's been an incredible tool that you've given us the opportunity to. And for that, we have each of the 5 commissioners today and in the past have committed to serving and to reducing the millage and making sure that our budget is appropriate. We've been able to maintain our employee level still at a lower level than we were in 2004. So that means we're being more streamlined, we're being more efficient, we're using technology. All of those things that make a business successful, back to being a business, we're doing that. And we're treating your dollars like they're ours, making sure that we put the best possible value to what we're doing and being successful for the people who pay us.
And I think when you say that, it's true because I think a majority of our employees live here too. So we pay taxes as well. We don't just work here, we live here too.
Yeah, and if I can revisit what Commissioner was saying is, this is 5 years in a row that they've lowered the millage rate. Even though the property taxes appear that they're going up, right, and the values of the properties are going up, the lower the millage rate. I mean, if you look at the total over the 6 years, there's almost $28 million of reoccurring dollars that they've saved the taxpayers that could be on those assessments and those rolls that they've saved. With that, we're lean. We're a very lean organization. We're at an FTE count that we were below when we only had 280,000 people in this community.
Full-time employees.
Full-time employees, yeah, full-time. We're 200 employees, 200 full-time employees less than what we were when we had 280,000 residents, and now we're almost hitting the 360, right? And we'll be at 400,000 in a few years. And then lastly is since 2008, coming out of that recession, the board has really refocused, understanding that we can't be reliant just on residential rooftop revenue, right? So our real focus is diversifying our county's revenue stream. So that's why they're leaning forward with all this manufacturing, good jobs, high-paying jobs. It's not just any job; it's quality jobs that are long-term, sustainable, that can survive the economic, peaks and valleys and things. So they're really focused on that diverse revenue stream, and that's what's really going to carry the county going when the economy has this bit of a roller coaster. Here in the future is having all of that. So we've really learned coming out of that. The board's been laser focused on we're not going to be in the same boat we were back in 2008. So let's be smarter, right? We have a very strong reserve. Almost 25% of our overall total budget is in reserve. And granted, one storm we're in a different conversation, but we're able to rebound faster, and we're continuing that. And the 25% isn't the cap. It was the minimum,
Sure.
Sort of thing. So having a board that is as diverse and is focused on what it is with the total picture of the county really helps build that very balanced budget, that very sustainable budget, something that we can maintain. So if we do have some tough times, we don't have to overreact to it. We can weather and come out the other side still serving the residents as they deserve. So
And I
we're
think
pretty fortunate.
You said it right there, sustainable budget. I think that's what we're trying to accomplish. When we have our budget meetings, we actually send out a 5-year program. So we're just like you do at home. And we're doing it more today than we ever have. And one thing I wanted to talk about was our bond rating. Looking at the federal government, not so good these days, because we have a balanced budget. We always have a balanced budget. And so, again, we have low debt. We don't have the kind of debt that some other areas might have. We were pay as you go. We've learned a little bit of lesson there too, is when interest rates were low, we probably should have bonded a little higher at the time. But again, we were pay as you go. We didn't want to put the county in debt, and because we weren't sure about the recession, as to where it was going to go. So make these decisions based on what's in the best interest of running the business, if you will.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for your time. Is there anything else you want to mention before we wrap up the show?
No, we just want to, shout out to your team. Your team does great. They do these shows in and out. They cover board meetings. They work, day and night and always put out good products. So your team does really great, and we really appreciate everything that they're doing, all their efforts to have this stuff going.
Well, this is airing in December, and I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and may your future be prosperous and fine and healthy. And we appreciate you for what you do with us in this county. We love our community. We want to keep the quality of life going. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Great. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with some public works projects with another project update.
The Public Works Department continues to serve the citizens of St. Lucie County with a solid, dependable infrastructure program. The North FFA Road Chip Seal project included repairing the existing chip-sealed roadway with a combination of asphalt patching, crack sealant, and the application of a chip seal layer. These improvements eliminated potholes, repaired edge damage, and restored the roadway, providing a better driving service for the public. Chip sealing is a cost-effective way to improve roadways and increase the lifetime of a roadway. For more information about St. Lucie County infrastructure projects, visit stlucieco.gov.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie. We hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program related to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, visit our YouTube page at youtube.com/stluciegov. I'm your host, Eric Gill, for myself and the staff. Thanks for watching.